Hi, everybody. So great to be here today on the Women Entrepreneurs Global platform. My name's Carmella, and today this module will focus on mobile strategy. It's part of the larger session around digital marketing and Google tools. So, if we're thinking about mobile, the first thing would be is why is this important? And it's because so many people now, more so than ever, are spending the vast majority of their time on mobile devices. So, many searches are happening on mobile devices first, and then people tend to go to desktop at a later point. And also, the reason that it's important is that user behaviors changed so drastically in the last couple of years. So it used to be that people wouldn't expect as seamless of a mobile experience just because they knew that the vast majority of their research would be done on desktop devices. But now, because everything is happening on mobile, it's really important to get your mobile experience for your consumers right. So the two things that we like to think about when doing this would be speed and experience. So from a speed portion, the reason that this is important is because a 1 second delay in page load time can decrease your end conversions by up to 20%. We did a study on this where we saw that for every additional second from like the 2.5 second mark to the 3.5 second mark, we saw a decrease in 27% of conversions. And then after that, the drop off was even steeper. So I think we've all been there too, right? Where you're waiting for a screen to load and you end up closing the screen because you're just so frustrated by the amount of time that it takes to load. So from both real life examples as well as what the data shows, it's really important to get this right because as an entrepreneur, as a business owner, you're losing valuable customers at the door that have already made it in and they're on your website if you are not having your page load quickly enough. A great way to start testing this and see what your mobile site speed is right now is a Google tool called testmysite.thinkwithgoogle.com. So here you can enter in your URL and it will test it on a 3G or a 4G connection to see how long it takes to load. You can then estimate the amount of traffic due lost to site speed. But the great part is that it will also give you a downloadable report filled with different recommendations to help improve your site speed if it does need to be improved upon that you can send directly to your developer. This can include examples that you might not have thought of initially, such as, hey, are there different images that can be compressed on my site on a mobile experience in order to get it to load more quickly? Is there excessive JavaScript that needs to be removed? Can I remove this video that's embedded on a mobile page so that it will load a little bit quicker? So these are all just examples that I would definitely encourage you to look at the Test My Site to think through and see. And then for a kicker, you can also include different competitors that you might have too to see how your site stacks up to them. The other part that I want to focus on is mobile experience. So let's say your site loads quickly, but it's still really frustrating to get through. Let's say, for example, a personal one of mine that I find kind of annoying is if you're trying to fill out a form and the form is not sized right to the mobile screen, so you constantly have to pinch and adjust it to enter in your information. I would definitely recommend that you walk through your entire website on a mobile device, walk through the sales flow, etc., just to make sure that it's easy for consumers to give you their information. Like if a consumer is trying to show that they're interested or if they're trying to check out on your site, that should be as seamless as possible because that's someone that's literally knocking your door down trying to come in. A couple of ways that you can improve your online experience is to first test that and then also test it with different customers that you might have. So maybe you could offer a survey and act on the customer feedback that you get back. Then you can also make sure that you remove any friction in the user journey that might be happening. So anticipate user queries and provide access to answers that they might be searching for. Because you assume that on a mobile device, people might look for information that's super timely or important because they're a little bit frantic and they might not have access to a desktop. So that was especially the case if, let's say that there are questions that need to be answered, or maybe there's slightly uncertain situations that are a little bit ambiguous. People will often search first on their mobile device because that's what's handy. So you can have a banner that appears that shows, hey, we're anticipating that you might have this concern. Here's what we're doing to help, or here's what you would need to know. And then also making sure that you're really transparent with people on mobile devices is really helpful just because people that are looking on mobile devices are looking for answers quickly. There's no need to be super corporate in terms of your languaging. It's better to be very direct with your consumers. Lastly, a couple of other things that you can think about on a mobile device that might be helpful would be making sure that everything is sized right to the screen or is dynamic and sizes based off of if you're on a mobile device of different sizes versus an iPad. You can also think about things like having a menu that's navigatable, like a drop-down menu. You can also think about having information pre-filled, the option for that if people are trying to check out. Lastly, one other thing that might be helpful is if you have an app that people can use, you can direct them to open this in the app instead, because it's assumed there that it might be a slightly easier user experience for them. So that concludes our session on mobile, and hopefully this session was really helpful in providing a couple of mobile tips and tricks. Again, my name is Carmella. So excited to be a part of the Women Entrepreneurs Global platform, and hope you found this helpful. Thanks again.